Okay, so these are all of my blushes, and this category has quadrupled since the beginning of the year. I really just wanted to experiment, play with some new things, and so I purchased a ton, and now I'm thinking I have way too many. So let's just get into this. The first one I know I'm going to declutter is this one that Dave got me when he was in Japan. It's a really pretty pinky color, but I never pick it up. It's one that really you have to build up on, and it's, even though it's pretty, I'm just going to hand it off to someone else who would appreciate it. I'm also going to declutter this one as well. This is the other one that he got me when he was in Japan. For some reason, whenever I look at this, I think of something inappropriate. So it's, again, a really pretty shade, but this one is very powdery and really doesn't stay on the face, so I'm just gonna, I probably will just toss this one, just because the formula isn't very good, so I feel like it would just be a nuisance to whoever else got it. So that's another one that's gonna be going. This is in a project pan, the baby skin from Maybelline. I really like it. So this is in a project pan, and I do love how small it is. I feel like the product isn't gonna go to waste, so definitely keeping this one. Okay, this one is in a project pan, but I think this is one that does have to just get tossed out. It did get hard pan. I've had it for a while. I've used a lot of it, at least like half of it, and I repressed it because it, again, did get hard pan, but just not working the way it's supposed to anymore. So this one I think I will toss, even though it is in a project pan. It's just not worth my effort because it's just not working the way I want it to. So just because of that, I will be disposing of this. So you guys know Hourglass is my favorite blush brand, so it's just so pretty. So totally keeping this one. Same with my Luminous Flush, this one that's a brighter pink. It has like that gold fleck in it, so I am going, it has that gold swirl marble in there, so I love this one. Totally keeping that one too. I'm definitely keeping this Wet n Wild one. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like one of those cooler blushes in my collection, which I don't have a ton of, but it's just a really beautiful, just like everyday shade that you can definitely use on its own without a contour or without a bronzer, because it kind of can do multiple things. So I absolutely love this one, worth my $2 that I spent on it, absolutely. So this one here has definitely become one of my favorites in my collection. This is the Minnie Mouse one from the Sephora collection collaboration they did with Disney, and I absolutely love this one. It is so pretty. It just gives a nice light to my face. The color is perfect. I thought I wasn't going to use it as much because, as you can see, that mini head is very quickly disappearing, but I love the shade, so totally keeping this one. And since I am keeping that one, I will be getting rid of this one. It's just so similar in shade, but it doesn't have the lighting quality that I love about the Minnie Mouse one. So this one I will be handing off. And I will also be handing off this purpley, pinky, cooler shade. It's really pretty in the pan, but it is really sensitive to light, so the shade has definitely changed since I've gotten it. And it's just a shade I don't pick up ever. I thought it would be really fun to just have something different, but there's no point in me having something different if I'm not really using it, or if I'm only going to be using it like once or twice a year. It's really just, I don't know, I feel bad for it not having any really much love or affection, so I'm going to hand it off to someone who really likes it. Moving on to this e.l.f. palette, it's really great for only $6. It's I think the shade is in light. They had a couple different versions. Yeah, it's in light. And it's really fun. I love these e.l.f. palettes because all of the pans you can pop out. So you can swap it out for like the highlight palette or the contour palette. So let me see these shades. Oh my gosh, they're all so pretty. So that's all the shades swatched, if you can see. I know the lighting isn't the best right now, but they're so soft and pigmented. I love this orangey one. I definitely love the lighter pinks, but this brighter one I don't think I'm going to keep. So I'm going to pop this one out, and I do have a contour shade that doesn't have a home, so I'll probably just put that shade in here. Okay, so as you can see, I popped that one out, and I will be putting the contour shade in this. And since I'm keeping this shade, which I really love the formula of, I'm going to be passing off this one from Sephora collection. It's very similar once you have it on the cheeks, and I just never reached for this one again, so I'm just going to hand this one off too. This one I just got, so I will be keeping. This is from a swap that I did from one of my friends on YouTube. It's the Tarte Natural Beauty blush, and it's the first Tarte blush I've ever tried, and I want to experiment with it. So I'm kind of excited about having this in my collection. It's definitely something I've always wanted to have, is a Tarte blush, so I will be keeping this one. And then I love this Milani one, but I hate, it is a little powdery, but it's just, look at that packaging and the prettiness. It's just, so pretty. But but it is kind of dry, not my favorite formula. And even though it's pretty, I don't see myself using it. So I'm going to pass this one along. I love this Dandelion one here from Benefit. It's just like a really good everyday light pink. And it has like a little bit of a lighting quality, so I will keep keeping that one. And then this Milani one I also will be keeping. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just the most perfect, like so pigmented, baked blush. Like an orangey, golden. Oh, do you see that? It's beautiful. So we'll be keeping this one. That's in the shade Rose Doro. And then my last Sephora one. I like this one. This one does have like that luminous quality to it. Ooh, it's pretty. Can you see that? I will be keeping this one. Okay, so these are all the blushes. The ones right here are the ones that I will be keeping, and then I am discarding of those ones over there. So I'm getting rid of 8 blushes, which is awesome, and then I'm keeping 12 because there's 3 in here if you're counting. So I did really well, not quite half, but is a good chunk of blushes that can move out, find new homes, and then I can really work and focus and love the things that I will be keeping. And it also gives me space if I do want to purchase more. I know that sounds awful to get rid of things just to get new things, but there are some things I really had my eye on, but I was like, I have so many blushes, I should use them. But I'm just gonna, it's not gonna save me money to keep these ones around if I'm not gonna use them. So I'm gonna give these ones new homes so they can get love. And listen, these two, again, I will probably just discard for quality issues. So now let's move on to bronzers. This is my whole bronzer collection, and it's definitely has dwindled down to really just my favorites, so I don't see myself getting rid of anything. If I did get rid of anything, it might be a couple shades in this e.l.f. palette. So let's just go into this. I'm definitely keeping both of these. This is going into that blush palette that I had. It's just like the contour shade, and I'm slowly going through the whole contour palette from e.l.f. So this is going to be in a project pan eventually, and this is currently in a project pan. This is the bronzer from that same palette, and I'm working through it. So totally love that contour kit, worth every single cent for only $6. Definitely keeping the butter bronzer. I love this one. It has definitely had major love the past few months that I've had it, and it's beautiful, great for if you have fair skin. And then I'm also keeping this Tarte Park Ave Princess bronzer. You can see I love it, so I'm totally keeping that one. And again, my Hoola bronzer. Again, these are just my favorites, so I don't see myself getting rid of any of them. My bronzer collection has dwindled. And now let's go through this e.l.f. bronzer palette. So you can see lots of options, but all pretty similar in shades. So I really do want to make some space in this because I do have that other bronzer that doesn't really have a home. So hopefully I can figure out one that won't. Ooh, maybe it's this one. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I don't know if you're going to see that, but those are the 4 swatches of this bronzer palette, and I think the one I will be discarding is this one here. It's very, very, very fair and barely picks up. That's this one here, and it's a bit cooler, so that's probably one I will be handing off. And I'm actually thinking about getting rid of this one too. It has more of like a reddish tint to it, if you can see that. So these two will be getting popped out, and I'll actually put these in this palette. That makes more sense. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now this is what my bronzer palette looks like. This is the contour shade, and the bronzer that I'm panning is now in here as one palette. So that worked out awesome. And so these are the only 2 bronzers I will be getting rid of. Okay, so these are all the highlights that I currently own, and it's another category that has dwindled down to just my favorites. So let's just go into this really quickly. I think there's maybe one that I will be getting rid of, and that's going to be this Wet n Wild one. I just don't like the texture of it. It's kind of greasy on my face, so the nice lighting quality is really great, but again, I don't like the texture, so this is one that I will be handing off. And then I have my Becca Champagne Pop, which I got from work, and I absolutely love it. You can see I'm almost hitting pan. So this one always gets a ton of use in my collection, so totally keeping it. And then I will be keeping this one. This is one that I got from Japan from Dave, and it's in a project pan. It's a beautiful white highlight. I use this one all the time. So you can see I have made a lot of progress on it, if you can see that. So really beautiful. And then I have my Mirror Luminizer, another one I'm obsessed with, so don't see myself ever getting rid of this one. It's gorgeous. And now let's just go into this e.l.f. contour. So now let's just go into this e.l.f. highlight palette. I haven't really played with this one much, but oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they're all so pretty. I don't know why I just swatched it on my thumb, but I do see myself handing this one off, the pink one, just because I normally don't use like a pink highlight. It looks a little off on my face just because I do have such golden undertones. So I will be handing this one off, but we'll be keeping the other three. So even though my highlight collection was small, I don't want to keep things just because of a number. Like, I would love to have more highlights, but really, these are the ones that I use and love, so I'm going to hand off those two. And I do want to use this e.l.f. highlight palette a little bit more. It's just been lost, so they're all really beautiful. So I'm so excited to actually like dive into that and see my thoughts and how they work. Okay, so this is everything that I will be just decluttering, which is awesome. It's over 10 products from my collection that will be handing off to new places, or a couple that just aren't working that I will be disposing of. So really excited about my progress. I got rid of more than I was expecting, so I'm pretty proud of myself. So stay tuned for my upcoming video, which will probably be face products. So stay tuned, follow this. So just make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, like this video, and that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you soon.